For the 2021 season, Wiener Prater was home to 14 different roller coasters. And much to my shock, my favorite coaster there was actually a 1994 Vekoma. Mega-Blitz is a weird Vekoma coaster that might as well be called Helix the ride. And they're forceful Helixes too. This ride nearly pulls 5 Gs. Find out why you should not sleep on the surprisingly intense coaster in this review. Wiener Prater cycles through roller coasters like the New York Jets cycled through quarterbacks. But Mega-Blitz is one of their longest tenured coasters. This coaster is owned by Neufeld and is the 4th oldest coaster at this Austrian park. Megablitz is a Vekoma MK-700 model. These coasters were some of the smoothest models Vekoma made in the 1980s and 1990s, but typically they were placed indoors. Megablitz was one of the few placed entirely outdoors. And the ride is almost a spiritual successor to the coaster it replaced. Megablitz replaced Carina Bob, which was a Schwarzkopf Jetstar. Both rides had a compact layout with deceptively steep drops, sharp turns, and helixes. Megablitz looks like a reddish-orange knot of track, and it's hard to tell where you're going next. Like many rides at Wiener Prater, Megablitz was a complete walk-on. One of the main reasons is the park's overall pricing structure. There are no pay-one-price wristbands. Every ride has its own separate cost and separate operator. I believe Megablitz cost €4.50 when I rode it in 2021, and I thought that was a fair price for such a fun coaster. Megablitz was operating with 2 trains, and these are some odd vehicles. Each train is short, comprised of just 3 cars, and each car has inline seating for up to 2 riders. Riders share a T-bar restraint that's able to slide forwards to account for single or double riders in each car. I recommend sitting in the back. The positive Gs felt identical across the train, but the back car will actually get some airtime as well. The coaster begins with a 62-foot or 19-meter tall lift hill. You navigate a slow U-turn that gets surprisingly close to an adjacent hotel. You then twist into the ride's largest drop. It starts off curved, but it straightens out midway down, and it gets significantly steeper. So if you're in that back car, you'll get some floater airtime here. The pullout is super tight, and it pulls some strong positive Gs, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. You then rise up and navigate a fast 540-degree downwards helix. This helix has powerful positive Gs, and I grayed out in each ride. It was that strong. You then twist up into a mid-course brake run. The vehicle is going pretty slowly when you pass through it, so the brake doesn't slow you anymore. It just functions as a block zone. The second drop is a straight one with a similar angle of descent as the first drop, so those in the back will again get a little floater airtime. You then speed through a 540-degree upwards helix that wraps around the prior one. This one had solid positive Gs at the start, but they do weaken towards the exit of the element as you lose some speed. You then build up speed again on this gently sloped straightaway before navigating the final helix, except this one is the longest. It is a 900-degree helix. This one starts as a wider downwards helix, but midway through the element it becomes a super compact upwards helix. The downwards portion had okay positive Gs, but the upwards portion had decently strong positive Gs because it was that much tighter. You then hit the brake run, ending your 1,805 foot or 550 meter long ride. In terms of smoothness, Megablitz is pretty good. It tracks well in the turns and helixes, but there is some shaking and rattling on the pullouts from the 2 major drops. As long as you watch out for your legs smacking the T-bar during these parts, you'll find this coaster comfortable. So what would I rate Megablitz? I would give this twisted Vekoma creation a 7.5 out of 10. This ride has 2 decent drops, and then treats riders to 3 forceful helixes. The first one in particular is very intense, and it will likely be a Greyout moment for most riders. This coaster moves a lot faster than you may expect, and it tracks pretty well for an older Vekoma. This was my favorite coaster at Wiener Prater, so I'm glad this is the one I decided to make my 1100th credit when I was there. So those are my thoughts on Megablitz, the Vekoma Helix machine at Wiener Prater. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Do you think it's an underrated ride? I would love to hear your thoughts about this ride down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.